morning and welcome back to the vlog. Honestly, I'm feeling so tired this morning. I kind of just want to stay in my robe. I don't think that will make me very productive. I think that will make me quite cozy and maybe lazy today. So I'm gonna get myself something to eat and see how I feel after that, and maybe go get myself dressed, and then I'll get started for the day. I do want to get started on something a little more fun and festive today, so perhaps I will just put my energy into the kitchen and then start decorating around here. And let's see, other than that, I don't think I have anything much planned. I do definitely want to make a batch of muffins for my son. I try to make him a batch of sugar-free muffins to keep in the freezer so that I can grab them for easy snacks early in the morning or midday after his second nap. What's the matter, baby? You wanna go potty? Go potty? No? Okay, bye-bye. So I do want to get some muffins going. I have some applesauce in the fridge that I can use. I also have some carrots that are starting to go, so I can do carrot muffins for him. I have some leftover pumpkin puree also in the fridge, and I had made a batch of pumpkin cinnamon rolls a couple of weeks back, and they were so good. So hopefully I can make another batch of those. We picked up some cream cheese so I can make the cream cheese frosting, which is so delicious. But yeah, those two things, the muffins and the pumpkin cinnamon rolls, and then just cleaning up and decorating. So hopefully it'll be a much more festive day today once we get the cleaning done. But first things first, I need to get some food into me and hydrate and maybe some coffee. We'll see about that one. Also, can we take a moment for my new robe? I'm loving it so much. I actually got this robe in an extra large because absolutely nothing fits this bump at the end of my pregnancies, and I had the same problem in my last pregnancy. Even my bath towel doesn't wrap around me at this point, but this robe in an extra large fits me so good, and it's so cozy at night. And it's a robe, so I don't really care that it's fitted or anything. It really just feels like a huge blanket. Time will tell how I feel about it when there's not a huge baby in here, but I think it will do just fine either way. And since we're in this season of pregnancy and postpartum and raising small children, I think that something super cozy and something that is flexible enough to get big with me is kind of best. That's kind of what I'm trying to do with my whole wardrobe, is I'm trying to get things that kind of will be able to transition well between all the stages that I'm going in and out of. Pregnancy, postpartum, breastfeeding. I just don't really want to be changing out my wardrobe so much, and I do like to keep as minimal of a wardrobe as I can. So I'm trying to gather some pieces that have that flexibility. I just got a new jacket that I'm loving that is a 3-in-1 jacket specifically designed to be worn not pregnant, and also to be worn with a baby carrier. So I'm really excited about that this winter. I've already been using it and I'm loving it, pregnant. I have not tried it with the carrier yet, but I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Hopefully I'll show it to you a little bit later. But like I said, gotta go get some food and water and maybe coffee. We are well into the afternoon over here. Apparently taking care of my very pregnant self as well as my teething toddler is taking up a lot of time. and attention. So I haven't really had a moment to pause, pick up the camera, catch you up on anything. But so it was also taking a lot of energy, so I'm also super tired, but I'm feeling much better now. The whole morning I was really tired and I couldn't really figure out why, but I think it's because I really pushed myself yesterday and I was kind of on my feet and moving for most of the day, and I did sit down and rest, but I'm out of breath. But anyways, I did sit down and rest, but I find that during pregnancy, especially during certain seasons of pregnancy, it can't just be like a 5-10 minute rest. Like, I really need a significant amount of rest to accommodate being active and moving and busy throughout the day. So I suppose, like, even though I did rest, it wasn't enough rest, and so my body was still pretty strained. Since my son is teething, I'm not sleeping well, he's not sleeping well, and where I would have been recovering from yesterday overnight, I didn't really sleep overnight, and so I wasn't able to recover. And I think that's why I woke up so tired and just remained tired for pretty much the whole morning. Slowly but surely though, my first priority, taking care of my son, taking care of myself, making sure that we're fed and all of that. And in between that, I did take a few minutes here and there to do some other things. But like I said, my son is teething, so he is wanting a lot of attention when he's teething. When I'm like standing at the sink doing dishes, for example, he is going to be kind of crying at my feet because he wants me to be with him, which I understand because he's in pain and he's really uncomfortable and he hasn't slept very well and he doesn't have much appetite because his teeth are hurting. So whenever I did have a few minutes to do something, I did do something. And the house is not completely clean by any means, but the kitchen is in much better shape than it was before. And I don't think that I'm in a place just yet where I can start decorating the kitchen, but I do want to do something special and a little bit festive for today. And so I am going to get those pumpkin rolls started now while my son is having his second nap. And if I have a chance, I'll see about throwing together some muffins for him. And I'll see if I can do like maybe an apple cinnamon or something like that that's a little bit more seasonal as well. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I've got flour and butter, cold butter in the bowl, and yeah, this is such a good recipe. I'm gonna link it in the description. Try it, it's so yummy. And the cream cheese frosting, I'll show you how I make it. It's just something that I've been making for years for regular cinnamon rolls. And then I just made it for these cinnamon rolls as well, and it was just so good. So this is where I settled on my outfit today. Like I said, not much fits me right now, but I've got this orange dress. It's, I guess, like a midi length. It's not maternity, but it's super stretchy and comfy, and just this striped cardigan because it is chilly. Like I said, I don't have a lot that's fitting me super great here at the end of the pregnancy, and that's something I'm trying to work on, is just having some clothes with more versatility that can fit me throughout my changes during the season of life. But something like this works really well because since it's not maternity, it fits me well outside of pregnancy, and then it's really stretchy, so it can fit me up to full term, and it just stretches out and it's really comfortable. And then throwing a big cardigan over anything is really comfortable as well. Anyways, I've got my iced coffee, got baby here on the monitor, and I've already measured out the flour and the butter, and I've just chopped it up and put it in the bowl. So like I said, I will link the recipe in the description. I will let you know right now, I'm not gonna follow the recipe. I didn't follow it last time. I apparently have a hard time following recipes. I just kind of use them as a guide, inspiration. I will be following the measurements more or less, but the process I'm kind of gonna do in my own way, because the recipe is a long fermented sourdough recipe that needs to be left overnight, and I don't want to wait that long, to be honest. So I'll show you the way I do it. I will link the recipe in the description if you want to follow it exactly that way. But I don't know if I mentioned this was sourdough. It is a sourdough pumpkin cinnamon roll recipe. I would call it a sourdough pumpkin roll because there actually isn't cinnamon in it, but it's delicious. It is really delicious and I love it, and I'm really excited to make them. So I'm gonna get started with that. So like I said, I just chopped up the butter into the flour here. And there are lots of ways that you can incorporate this. And there are lots of better ways that you can incorporate this, but I'm just gonna do it with my hand. So that's all mixed in and it's got this nice crumbly texture. And I'm just going to add in a half cup of my sourdough starter. This is actually straight out of the fridge, so not active at all. I did feed it right before I put it in the fridge. A half cup of milk. And a half cup of pumpkin puree. And I have way too much of this pumpkin puree, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with all of it. So I don't know if it will hold up long enough for me to do another batch of these, or if I need to find something else to make with it. So I'm just gonna give this a little stir. I'm really not gonna stir it all the way right now. Just want to mix it up a little bit before I add in the rest of the ingredients. So we've got 2 tablespoons of honey. All right, so we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey. That's way more than 2 tablespoons. So it'll be a little sweet. Not the end of the world. Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of baking soda. I am diverging from the recipe right now. I'm pretty sure they don't add in the leavening agents until the next day. But like I said, I'm not trying to wait overnight to make these. I'm actually gonna try to rapid proof them in the oven. And hopefully the warming of my sourdough starter will help with some of that, because I did feed it. Okay, so this is what my dough is looking like. Super soft. And I'm just gonna cover this and leave it in my oven on the standard bread proof setting. I think I'm gonna put it on rapid bread proof actually. And that will just warm it up and help it to rise faster. I'm not super concerned about the long fermentation. If that was really important to me, I probably would do that. If I had the time and the energy, I would probably do that. But right now, I don't want to wait that long. I don't want to leave it overnight. I'm sure it would be very delicious left overnight as well. But I did this last time and it came out really good. So I'm gonna rapid proof this, get it rising. I'll probably roll out the dough and put the filling and shape them before dinner so that they can improve again for a little while, and then maybe after I do bedtime with my son, I might pop them into the oven and let them bake. If I do end up throwing them into the oven super late and I need to go to sleep, or I just get tired, my husband usually stays up quite a bit after me, and so if ever I leave anything in the oven, he'll always pull that out for me. So no matter what, I will have some fresh, yummy pumpkin rolls for breakfast tomorrow. Oh, and I'll also probably make the cream cheese frosting fresh tomorrow if the rolls aren't done tonight. If the rolls are done tonight, chances are me and my husband are gonna have some after dinner. But yeah, so I'm gonna cover this up, stick it in the oven. Let me get that started actually. Okay, here it is, all wrapped up and ready to go. And that will sit in the oven for at least an hour, hopefully. I would like to leave it for longer. I'll probably keep an eye on it and see how things go, but in about an hour I will be having to start dinner. So either before or after I make dinner, depending on how this is looking, I will continue on with the rest of it. I really would like to just lay on the couch right now, but I think that I should take the opportunity while my son is sleeping to just clean up again. And then if he's still sleeping, maybe I'll sit down. It really depends on how fast I can get things done, because I also don't want him to sleep too much, because he's already having so much trouble sleeping at night. And if I let him sleep late into the afternoon, or if I let him get a lot of sleep during the day, I don't think he's going to be very tired during the night. So I'm always torn between just going with the flow and doing, you know, whatever he wants in terms of like when he wants to sleep and how he wants to sleep and all of that. And so I'm torn between that, going with the flow, and, you know, putting some structure into his routines, like imposing some structure into his day. I've gone back and forth, which I know not ideal, because I want to give him consistency, but it all depends on like his needs. Like if he's sick, I'm going to be more flexible, but if he's feeling well, I'll probably give him a little more structure. Like if he's sick, then I will be more flexible and let him sleep a little more. But it's kind of dancing a fine line, because sometimes he will be up until like 9:30 at night, and it's just wild, and he'll wake up at 5 a.m. I'm on a whole rant. I am wasting time that I should be cleaning and making the best use of this opportunity that I have before my son wakes up and he needs me again, or before I have a complete crash out of energy again, which hopefully doesn't happen, because I am having my iced coffee and I did have a sweet